we have a beautiful fucking guest. As always, thank you for finally coming on to the Modern Man, Mr. Canton. Park her.
You can call me Manny though. That's and this I'm gonna call him a dictator for now. Emphasis on the first part, but so
if my children ever do that, I'll slap them.
What? Because you know now. But isn't that just life? You learn and then you teach.
Do you remember tennis?
Yeah, and you had to and you went in it, eh?
Yes,
have you seen people where they hold the controller
and then they throw it,
but they didn't have the thing, and it's like, oh, I just broke my TV now. Oh, old, bro. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because wisdom lasts longer than strength. Oof! That's a tweet.
Oh shit!
Shit! We brought out the
fuck. That's true though, but I also just like the way he acts in. As an older guy.
Reaction incoming message. The Modern Man Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Modern Man. I know it's been a little while since we've been around. We haven't done any interviews. My life just got a little bit very hectic. But today, it's a beautiful Friday. It's the 1st of March. And we have a beautiful fucking guest. As always, thank you for finally coming on to the Modern Man, Mr. Canton. Park her.
You can call me Manny though. That's
Today's theme of the podcast is slam poetry.
100%.
We are going to be trying to throw it in through every conversation, and we don't know how it's going to go, but it will probably rob hurts.
Well, thanks so much for having me, bro.
Finally.
It's awesome to be here.
I'm glad it's a year since nearly a year since we last had lunch.
Bro, there was a beer, and there was conversation, and we'll leave it at that.
For another story. For another story, bro. Okay, so bro, today in this conversation, I'm gonna ask you one serious question in the beginning.
Yes,
one.
I will go to.
It's a very nice one. I actually think I think you're the perfect person to ask this question. I've been wanting to ask somebody, but I didn't know. Now it's finally the time. Bro.
Sure, I'm nervous
then,
for some unknown reason. if you're gonna ask me to go to the matric dance with you, sure. Why not? Let's go, bro.
Are we? Who's the?
You're the girl. You're gonna wear the flower dress.
Why? Is it because of my white thighs?
Yeah, top deck thighs. I'm joking.
Okay, no, dude. My question for you is, bro, how important is it to keep your inner child alive and not lose it to this world?
We put our floaties on. We're gonna get into the deep end of this
Right
pool
now.
real quick. How important is it to keep the inner child alive?
Yeah.
Sure, man. I think very important for a reason.
Yes.
Obviously, everyone's like, yeah, no, of course. I don't think anyone will be like, no,
it's
your
not
child
important
should die. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
No, but I think probably when you were a kid,
Yeah.
you liked certain things. You didn't like certain things, but specifically you liked certain things.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that made you tick. There was a lot of things that brought you excitement, joy, coloring those lines, filling the blank. There was a lot of things where even now to this day, you can remember what happened or what was said or more specifically what you felt when you were a kid.
Yes.
And that has ultimately shaped you to where you are today. That's every single human being on planet Earth.
Yes.
The importance of why you should keep your inner child alive is because that doesn't ever really go away.
No.
Never does. If anything, what it does is it gets amplified because you deal with a lot of baggage, you deal with a lot of emotions. A lot of the times you grow up and you're like, why am I like this? It's probably because that one time in grade 4, this one thing was said to you, you suppressed it, you didn't really deal with it.
Yeah.
Now, to combat that, the things that brought you a lot of joy and the things that brought you a lot of excitement and the things that you woke up on a morning, a Saturday morning, you're like, this is what I want to do.
Cereal, Dragon Ball Z.
You know what I mean, bro? You've already got
for sure.
You've already got a motion picture running through your head of Manny when he was a kid.
Exactly.
Now, every single human being will remember certain key moments and memories in their life when they were a kid.
Yes.
And there's something about you today that keeps going back there.
Yeah.
So your inner, you as an actual child then, you're now your inner child. You should still be having wonder. You should still have joy. You should still have this sense of excitement. You should take risks. I mean, you climb a tree, you fall, you hurt your arm, and then you
go do it the next week again.
You go do it the next week. As an adult, we become very risk conscious.
Bro, because the world teaches us that, bro.
The world teaches us that, failure is a big thing.
Yeah.
No one wants to fail for a few reasons, but I think primarily one of the biggest reasons why no one wants to fail is judgment.
Dude, public humiliation. Bro.
No one wants to be called out for their crap. And you know what?
Sure.
That's a legitimate reason, 100%. Yeah. But there's something so special when you look at the people that you can clearly tell a Steve Jobs,
Yes.
Elon Musk,
Yeah.
you know, all these prolific people, not even like from a tech perspective, but
You're
like
the top people.
like musicians,
bro.
like,
Yeah,
you know, all-
artists, this and that. Yeah.
anything and everyone and anyone in any and every sphere. Sure, that's words, bro. But like, there's something about them where people look up to them because of what they've done.
Yes.
But they only did what they did because they had a dream, because they had a vision, because they were like sick. You know,
Yeah.
I just want to do something
Yeah,
that no
yeah.
one else. Who cares if I get judged?
Exactly that. It's a new thing, bro, because they kept that
Absolutely.
childhood like little mindset.
That
Of,
spark.
I can do whatever the fuck I want. I remember when you were a kid, bro. You always used to say, "I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a professional athlete. I want to be this and
And
that."
then you end up becoming a stripper,
Dude,
Like,
I mean, yeah, at Chivalry, where I was for my birthday. And but I mean, yeah, dude, I mean, that's the point. I mean, I'm now watching at the moment, I'm watching this masterclass, Mark Cuban's masterclass. It just dropped, bro. And I look at someone like him, and he's a
great.
dude, he's so great. His personality is amazing, but he loved basketball when he was young, bro. So yeah, he went into business and he did money, but then he went and bought a basketball
Mavericks.
team and he kept that like kid dream alive, and now it's one of the best teams in the NBA, bro.
Yeah.
And people look up to him. It does, like, I mean, you get a lot of billionaires that people don't even know about, people don't give a fuck about, because they don't inspire people.
No.
The people that inspire people had a dream as a kid and they never lost that dream. Because I mean, you go to school. That's why I don't like the school system in general. I fucking hate the school system.
hey,
It has its ups and downs, but mostly downs when it comes to education.
Mostly downs,
for
yeah.
sure. But when it comes to
100%.
social wise, it
Yeah,
teaches you a lot of things.
yeah.
But and it just teaches you to let go of that dream and think of something more acceptable. What's gonna get you further in life? What's gonna get you a steady income doing this and doing that? I mean, we were just talking about it when we started, yeah, bro. People like to chirp us. Oh, it's nice that you guys get to do this on a Friday afternoon at 2:00, you know.
Love
And they're
it.
like, oh, it must be nice, you know?
Yeah,
but
must be nice.
for us, it is nice, actually, to be honest with you.
It is.
But we do more work than they do in a 9 to 5, bro.
Well, yeah, I think to touch on that, there's a lot of people that I don't think they realize. It sounds so cliche what I'm about to say, but the power of choice.
Yeah.
Like dude, you have choices. I've chatted to so many people before where they just go on and on and on about their job. And they're like, oh, I'm not happy with this. And my boss is at that. And my colleague is at this. And then, oh, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. And the hours are, and you know, the list goes on. And there's a lot of people that are probably listening to this going,
Yeah.
that's me.
Yeah.
My life sucks.
Yeah.
And like, good. Your life should suck. Not because everybody else's doesn't suck.
Yeah.
They've just happened to take what does suck and make it count.
For sure.
For example, this cameras went rolling, mics went on before we were chatting.
Yeah.
No one knows that, like, cool, Monday morning, I went to bed at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Doing what? Working. I woke up on Wednesday morning at 4:00 in the morning to do what? Work.
Yes.
But then, hey, it's Friday afternoon at 2:00 and I'm sitting
Yeah.
here with Manny doing the Modern Man
Dude,
podcast.
and that's it, because you chose to, bro.
But a lot of people will see this as a highlight reel. And they'll
They
go,
won't listen to the whole thing.
they'll
yeah.
go, I want that life.
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah,
like there
yeah.
is such a small little piece of this puzzle. You're not taking into account this massive picture.
Exactly.
And you're kind of going, oh, what's wrong with my life? And there's a word for it. It's like you lack clarity. You don't have the context. You lack the clarity. And therefore, you come up with assumptions and you just wreak havoc in your mind, building a narrative that was never really supposed
Dude,
to be
and that's
there.
beautiful, bro. That's exactly what it is, bro, because they know jack shit. And then they're not, how do I say, they weren't also taught to now go find out what the context of that conversation was. I mean, you can find anything on social media and completely take it out of context if you clip it at the right moment.
Bro.
So,
Story of planet Earth
bro,
in 2024, dude.
and people are just, they take everything at face value. They have no depth to themselves. And they think life is a 15-second reel.
yeah,
They think that's what life is, bro. And it's a fucking shocking thing. But again, sorry, just to that point where you said choosing, bro. When you choose your problems, you got this and that. That is where they made the choice to lose their ambition, lose their dreams, and lose their inner child to the world. Because they have no imagination and no ambition to go forward with
Imagination is probably the key word there.
yeah.
Because, you know, the question was, how do you keep your inner child alive? Which is a good thing. The opposite of being alive is obviously dead. And I don't think someone's inner child ever dies. I don't think that's ever the case, because there's an element in you that there'll be a smile or there'll be a laugh. Or
things,
There'll be something that
little
like,
things, yeah.
but then it's immediately gone.
Yes.
So not that so much your inner child maybe is dead.
Yeah.
More so, if I could visually paint the story for you, picture this little kid who's like haunched down, like crouched down, whatever that term would be.
Fetal position.
Yeah,
in the
and
corner,
he's like holding his legs,
Yes.
and he's like rocking back, and he's crying.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people in a lot of spaces.
Dude, that's like 95% of people
and
easily,
and
bro.
now it makes sense. Oh, you're aggressive. Oh, you're a bully.
Angry.
You're angry. Always picking on
Short-
people.
short
Short-tempered.
Judgmental.
Super judgmental.
Yeah. They always say that guy's a hack. There's no ways he can do that. It's a lie.
And
Yeah.
there's one thing that I can probably, and I'm not trying to be like the world's greatest, like, oh, this is why, but I can prove. I can prove that a lot of people's inner child is not dead, but in that dark, cold corner crying. I can prove it because people love negativity.
That's
Why do you find so many videos online? Just go to your comment section, bro, and just read. And like you don't know the
Just
person. You lack the context. You lack the clarity. You yourself are confused, but you feel so compelled to just communicate whatever you want.
Yeah.
And sometimes keyboard warriors are probably the most deep down desperate people that just want a hug, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But coming to the conclusion and being vulnerable enough to say,
Yes.
listen, like, can we just chat?
Yeah.
Rather than, and then
You're
going mad.
and
And then you work with these people and you're just like, who hurt you, bro?
Yeah.
And then they get even more upset. You're like, okay, I'm going to go to Manny and have a beer. I'll check you later.
Exactly. Like, what's wrong, bro? And as you
Exactly,
said, the
yeah.
inner child, I don't think it dies. Agreed. Because I've also seen, you see a lot of people in their old age, on their deathbeds,
Yeah.
they now have regrets. And regrets come from the
sense.
inner child. I wish I chased that dream. I wish I was happier. I mean, I was watching it's funny enough for real, the biggest regrets of people's lives, bro. I wish I saw my friends more. That's a kid thing, bro.
Yeah.
People think, oh, when you get old, you don't see your friends and stuff. That's sad, bro. If you don't see your friends, it's a sad fucking, like, you will be upset when you get older. Even if you've got a partner, it's cool, but you need actual friends.
You need mates that you can have a beer and laugh with.
That's exactly it. It doesn't have to be often. It just has to be. Then the other one was, I wish I was let myself be happier.
Yeah.
I wish I spent more time with, and you know, that's all like kids want, and that's your inner kid coming out, and then it's just sad. But anyway, great fucking point. I think you killed that. Anyway, let's get.
I love it, bro. And I think,
Bro.
you I just want to
Yes,
maybe say
yes.
one thing, which you alluded to, but, and it's funny, on my way here, I had funny enough, I don't recommend people do this, so like, don't judge me, but I had it took me like about an hour from leaving my place to get here, not because I drove here
Galulis.
directly, but yeah, Galulis, obviously, you know, Satan's highway, but it's like, I went one direction to go drop my dog off at daycare. Don't judge me. But I dropped my dog off at daycare because my wife's at work. Then I schlepped all the way here. But funny enough, on the way here with an hour, I was on a meeting. So I was actually having a meeting. And we were chatting back and forth. And this is the point I'm trying to get to. But you mentioned something that while we're chatting, this person said in the meeting, you know, thank you so much for your input and thank you just for being you more than what you do. Thank you for being you. And then that sparked a bit of a thought where I said, well, life is more than what you do, but rather who you do it with. And I think this is why you should have your friends. You should have your FIFA days. You should go, let's go to Tigers Market, let's have a beer. Oh, look how funny that person looks. Not that you should do that. But my point is,
I do that. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
Community, and I'm going to use the word community in this aspect. A lot of people forget, and I'm going to use the word forget a lot. They forget the angle and I don't want to say the power because now it's not like I'm giving a sermon, but the power of community.
Oh, for
just
sure,
being in common unity with each other, whether it's your hobbies, it's your lifestyle, you have
religion.
have good friends.
Yeah,
don't
for
have
sure,
cuck
bro.
friends.
Of course.
But
That's very important
but
to you.
be in community.
With somebody else.
Sit at a table with someone and have a laugh, have chicken wings, have a beer.
Dude, and not take life so seriously.
Life can't be taken seriously,
Seriously,
because life's hard, bro.
Life's so hard, bro.
Life's cuck at times. But
Life's
if you
cuck most times.
if you can laugh,
oh, then you're good, bro.
you will probably have an inner child
Yes.
that just flourishes.
Well, I
all
mean,
the time.
who was it? Charlie Chaplin said, if you look at life close up, it's a tragedy. And if
away,
you
it's
look
a
at it away,
comedy.
it's a comedy, bro.
Absolutely, bro.
And I mean, I also, who was it? Andrew Tate even said, there's nothing better than sitting with your boys, having a beer and laughing, bro.
100%.
Talking shit. It's
Top
such
G.
a simple, it's such a simple act.
Yeah.
And I think, especially for guys, it's a very needed thing because guys obviously don't get to talk much, bro.
No. And for the most part, guys don't talk. 'Cause
Exactly.
they're like, I gotta be
Exactly. But if you
No,
have the right
man.
friends, bro, I mean, as you said, it's who you spend it with. It's not the journey. It's not the destination. It's the company. on the way there. You can go to the worst fucking place, and if you have your best friends with
You're
you
in
make
the
it a
best
laugh,
place.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Nah,
The worst place with the best people is the best place.
Guaranteed.
Simple as that.
Guaranteed. I'm going to cut that. for you.
Tweetable.
Okay, bro. Let's learn more about you, bro.
Yes, I am a convicted serial killer.
Convicted?
Yes, convicted. But I left, and they good.
Oh, were
parole.
they okay with you?
Yeah, they
bro?
were right.
Yeah. Was it Captain Crunchies or
No, Oreos.
Oreos?
Yeah, they called me Captain Oreo.
Why? Because it was. Yeah.
We went there.
I totally contemplated not saying that, but it was too
But you
good
said
to not
it, and
put
you were
on-
like, "Whoa, hang on a minute."
Oh, whether we cut that out or not, I don't know yet.
I was gonna make an even worse one and say, "No, first you twist it, then you lick it."
Then you dunk it. Oh, who
gosh.
provides
Okay.
the milk? Okay,
So
anyway,
about
yeah.
yes,
Yes.
Canton
Start from the
Parker.
beginning, bro. Tell us about you, bro.
Yo.
How did you get into? And what do you do, bro? Let
So-
whoever doesn't know you out there, explain yourself.
I'm like a
motherfucker.
R5 coin.
Okay.
I, on one side, am a graphic designer, photographer, videographer, and on the other side, I am what I'd like to term as a creative storyteller and gamer, pretty much. And kind of what's funny is that the two are very infused into each other.
Yes.
One kind of like it's like a pendulum where it's constantly one and the other, and then sometimes the two combined.
Yes.
But yeah, I pretty
One hand
much
washes the other in your thing.
yeah.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
I pretty much started, funny enough, in graphic design and photography through gaming primarily. And it's so funny. I grew up in a gaming family. My dad was fortunate enough to work alongside a lot of cool people. He worked in a lot of big corporations, Lego, Hasbro, Prima
Wow.
Toys. He was part of Jossie Feltman, which became Just Fun Toys. So as a kid, you can imagine, like myself and my siblings, we grew up with stuffs. I don't know if these cameras can see it, but you got an arcade machine right next to you. My brothers grew up with arcade machines in their bedroom.
Oh wow.
Again, I can't prove this. I've said it to so many people. I can't prove it, but my dad was part of the executive team that helped bring Nintendo to South Africa.
Shit.
So growing up, I had that like grey brick Game Boy.
What?
And you know,
the OG one.
the
bro,
OG,
with
bro.
The big fucking thing that you used to.
All
slip
of that,
in,
bro.
yeah.
My dad always used to travel like to and from.
You used to play Pokemon on that one. Sorry,
dude,
bro. That was one that I used
can
to
I make you
play.
cry? Can I make
Yeah?
you cry? Okay. I had a flip file of every single Pokemon card. And when I
Yes.
was a kid, I got over and I was like, oh, let's just give it away. Thank you. You know how now, as an adult, I'm like, why did no one kick me in the forehead when I thought about this? Bro. I'm looking at the other guys. Bro. Anyway.
I mean, but sorry, on that fact, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, same shit.
Bro.
Tazos,
Every-
same shit. For me, football, match attacks. I had all the fucking football
Bro.
cards, and I also just.
You're just like, oh, I'm over this now. When you look back, you're like,
If my children ever do that, I'll slap them.
What? Because you know now.
Pa.
But isn't that just life? You learn and then you teach.
That's true.
That's
true,
life.
bro.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
growing up in a gaming family, my dad also, because of everything, he used to travel a lot.
Yeah.
So Legos, obviously in Denmark, so he was always at the toy fair there. Then toy fair.
Yeah.
Went to Hong Kong the once.
Yes.
Um,
Sorry, this is such a different industry than you're used to hearing. You know what I
So
mean?
different, bro.
It's such a complete. You don't hear about people in this kind of
no.
industry, bro.
So my dad, obviously in all of that, got the PS1. Then I got the PS2.
Shit.
Worst parenting advice ever would be don't introduce your 6-year-old to Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Because that was me. My brothers are like, oh, we got this PS2 for you. I'm like, yeah, what's the first game? Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, I don't know what that is. It's like, oh, I know what that is now.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So anyway, so that was
It's
me.
funny how we grew up on Grand Theft Auto, and yet we're still okay.
And we're still
in
okay.
certain ways.
Think about that, parents.
Yeah.
We're still
I
kind
went
of.
back and I played San Andreas the other day, and I'm thinking, how the fuck did my parents let me play this shit,
Bro, but it was fun.
It was so much
And
fun.
memories.
But it's
There
also
was-
pixelated, so you couldn't see much.
That's also true. Grand Theft
The
Auto 6.
imagination
Grand Theft
was
Auto
there.
6. Anyway, so now my dad's in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Funny enough, at what's called the Canton Toy Fair.
What?
So in China,
Yeah.
in Hong Kong, there is a place called Canton. So he's at this toy fair.
Is that where you were conceived, or?
Yeah, probably, bro. on Canton Road, like on the road. But
That would
so
have been a great story. To be honest.
I hope
Yeah.
it's. I'm gonna
You
just
could have
say
been.
it's
You
true.
could have been the mayor.
I should have just said.
You
it's
should
true
actually
story.
just tell people that. 100%.
100%.
Who can say it's not like true?
Exactly. I
Fuck.
built the road. You can't prove it. It's got my name on it. You remember people like doesn't have your name on it. Well, it does now, bro. Like, But so my dad's there now. It's obviously international phone calls.
Yeah.
Like it's like internet's not a big thing at the time. Well, it kind of is, but kind of not.
Yeah.
So my
It was
dad,
still coming up.
it was still coming up. So my dad calls me and he's like, "Listen, what's this PlayStation 3?" Now keep in mind, PlayStation 3 is not out in South Africa yet.
Oh wow.
So my dad calls me and goes, "What's this PlayStation 3? Don't you have like the number 2? Like what's?" And I'm like, "Oh, Dad, like is it there?" He's like, "Yeah, do you want me to get it for you?" I'm like, "Listen."
And it's that big
And
curved one.
It's the curved one with the
curved one.
Spider-Man font on the...
Yes. And the button, the first
Yes.
push button that pops
So
this thing
my
out.
dad's like, "Do you want me to get it for you?" So I'm like, "I'm not going to say, oh, Dad, sure.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Can I get back to you? Can I just consult with mom quickly?"
Yeah.
Like, no. So anyway, he brings it, bro. There's whole things in Chinese. The game boxes are in Chinese. I'm like, right. Funny story.
I'm going to learn Chinese.
My next door neighbor was Chinese. So I call him. I'm like, "Bro, you know the language setting?"
Please change it.
And now keep in mind, so PlayStation 3 came out 2007. I was 13. Okay.
Fuck.
Now I'm like, I'm just hitting teenage, bro.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes,
let's
yes.
go. So he's like, yo, go. He was also a big gamer, but now this guy was like, I think 17. He played a lot of PC games.
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
Chinese, like
Yes.
from China, Chinese.
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of.
yeah.
So he reads the whole thing. He's like, okay, cool. Puts it into English for me. Great. PlayStation 3 comes out in South Africa. I can't play a single PlayStation 3 game in South Africa
Because it's got the
there's
Chinese
PAL and there's NTSC. So I could only take NTSC stuff, not PAL. Obviously, when the PS4 came out, that was all changed. But every time my dad went to Hong Kong or we
bring
knew of any
games back,
friends
yeah.
going, it would always be, look for this game, look for this game, look for that game. And bro, it was like, those are all memories for me.
Yes.
But growing up, back to the question,
Yeah.
growing up in a gaming family, always surrounded around gaming, that it was just always a way of life for me.
Yeah.
It was like my mom
It
would
was a
come in.
culture, bro.
Yeah, my mom would come sit next to me. I'd play games. Like I'm a very big storyteller gamer.
Yes.
So I'd be like sitting playing a game, and it's as if my mom and I are watching a movie, but I'm in full control of this movie. And like that, like,
Okay.
those are cool memories.
Dude,
and like
that's a beautiful way to look at it.
100%.
Dude,
And
that's-
my dad would like come and look at a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff. Christmas morning, I would PlayStation 2 box covers
Yes,
or
yes.
the cassette, the disc covers.
Yes.
It was like a long one, so I could recognize the shape of that. Oh, this is a PS2 game.
Yes.
Long story short, on Christmas morning, when everyone's passed out, or at least Christmas Eve,
Yeah,
everyone's
you went
passed
to
out,
go get the-
I went, slit the sellotape slightly open, pulled the thing out, took the disc out, put a different disc in, put it back in,
Started playing
started playing, finished the game
before it even started.
before people woke up. So that on Christmas morning, they're like, "Hey, here's your game."
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I've been waiting for this my whole life, and meanwhile I'm like, yeah, I've like finished this.
You 8
in, like,
hours in and you're like, okay, I'm done.
I'm
But
like,
thank you.
this is finished. Like I think the one was God of War 2. I
Dude,
finished that in
God
like
of
10
War
hours.
3, bro.
Oh yeah,
For me, that was the one game that I got
Yeah.
on Christmas,
yeah.
and I finished it same day because
Bro,
of how great of a fucking
was so
story
sick.
it was, bro.
So yeah,
I even got that shit tattooed on my hands, bro. I
hello.
love God of War.
Have you
bro.
played
Like,
Ragnarok?
dude, I'm busy with it.
Well done.
I'm busy with
You
it.
passed the test.
Yes.
But anyway, so growing up in gaming,
Wait, sorry, why are we on God of War? Young or old Kratos?
are old, bro. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because wisdom lasts longer than strength. Oof! That's a tweet.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
shit.
We brought out the...
Fuck.
The-
That's
the-
true, though, but I also just like the way he acts in. As
Yeah.
an older guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
as a
that's
younger
true.
one, he was just mad.
So you know what's so funny?
Yeah.
And we're going so off topic.
Yeah,
here, but
completely.
The
Fuck it, bro.
development of the new God of War with
Yes,
the old
yes.
Kratos, the original whatever people that did the young Kratos, they hated him because they were like, oh, where's this like rage, the God of War, like, and then they said, oh, no one would find him relatable because now he's not.
He's a lot more relatable now. bro.
And he's so much more relatable.
Yeah.
You know why? Because weakness, especially when it's on display, people love being able to be empathetic,
Yes.
sympathetic to a degree,
Yes.
more than anything compassionate, where it's like, hey, I relate with that. Father and a son. A father plays this who doesn't have a good relationship with his son. It goes,
And it shows how
wow.
to do
A
this.
son that doesn't have a good relationship with his father goes,
You
a
start seeing
son,
the other side of the...
a father who's trying to get his son into gaming is like, oh, actually, do you want to show it? Like
Yes,
the
yes,
first
yes.
game, I can see like many years from now, people are going to go, oh, the first game I ever played with my dad was God of War. And then they're going to roll that out. And then there's going to be like, oh, so gaming is more than just button bashing.
For
It's
sure.
the stories, it's the emotions, it's the relationships
Yeah.
like there's so many things games can teach you, bro. More than just your quick hand-eye
Dude, I
coordination.
learned all my like Greek mythology
Yeah.
from God of War, bro.
Yeah,
like majority,
100%,
like you
bro.
learn so much from. Okay, anyway, we are going
Yeah,
off topic.
but anyway,
Yes,
so
sorry.
Gaming, how
Sorry, wait. Last one about God of War.
Yeah.
Where's
Love it.
Where's he going next? Egypt or Japan?
Funny enough, if you've played God of War, the Ragnarok, but the Valhalla DLC.
The last piece.
Yeah, the
Yes,
recent
when he
edition
becomes
thing.
a god of what? Doesn't he, when he
So
sits
what's
on the
funny
chair?
is
Okay, no, you're spoiling.
there is teasers that is either going to Japan or Egypt or I don't know if it's a country, but like Aztec, like Mayan.
Oh,
Ishvar.
okay.
There's so much, bro. But that's the beautiful thing
I
about
think it will be Egypt.
when
bro.
you position a certain character in like a narrative in a certain way. If you do it in a very certain way, you can branch out into like anything. And I think that's what's quite cool.
Because let's remember, when they finished God of War 3, there was no, like...
No.
We didn't know, and then randomly he's now fucking Norse god.
He's
Okay,
like,
anyway,
wait, how
let's
did
go
this
back,
chap
let's go
get
back.
to
Sorry.
Norway?
Sorry, let me just... Somebody's trying to phone me.
You must just answer and be like, how there?
No.
So anyway,
Fuck
so all that to say, growing up gaming, playing The Sims. I don't know if you ever played The Sims.
Dude, I always played The Sims.
So
bro.
I played The Sims and I
Always.
loved building houses.
Motherload.
Bro, yeah. I think it was Rosebud. Rosebud was one of them.
I only
You needed a Motherload. You wanted
I just
all- you wanted the
money,
mo-
bro. Exactly.
So I'm now playing The Sims and like my parents are looking at it and they're like, wow, you really can do houses pretty well. Anyway, fast forward, I'm gonna like run through this quite
I
quickly.
never thought about that. Now that I like interior designing, just maybe it's because of The Sims.
You know what I mean? Exactly. No, 100%, bro.
Fuck.
So I
Okay.
initially wanted
Yeah.
to become an interior designer.
Oh shit.
I was like, this is what I want
How
to do.
much fun is it though?
It's actually very lekker.
Yeah.
Like I know some people are like, yeah, bro, what's wrong with you? But I love interior design, bro.
Yeah,
Like if
yeah.
you come to my apartment,
Yes.
you walk in, you're like, there's a lot of thought behind
Yes,
this. Like
there's reasoning
this
for
is
this.
grey,
is,
this
bro.
is dark grey, there's a
Yes.
brown, there's a lot involved with
Yes,
it.
yes.
All my furniture is the same color. I think it's an ash wood and white. Everything, the table, the chairs, the desk, it's
lovely.
all, when you look at it, it looks so, now it sounds like I'm bragging. Well, I'm not really.
No, it's not, because when somebody who knows the amount of effort that goes into
Exactly.
doing that, it's a real pain in the ass too,
100%, bro.
Yeah.
So now Sims, interior designer. Oh, let me actually become an architect. So then that, going to shadow architects back and forth. I'm like, listen, Dad, this is not for me. And then my brother at the time was getting into, or he was in it for quite a while, but like
Yes.
design and photography. And I always looked up to my brother. Still to this day, beats me at Tekken, whatever. You know who you are.
That's button mashing.
Daniel. But anyway, so I looked at my brother and, he did a lot of design and photography. And I was like 6. So he had a Mac. I got a Mac. He got a Canon camera. I got a Canon camera. And I always wanted to get to like that level like my
Yes.
brother.
You upgrade, level up with
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then that, from wanting to become an architect, I was like, oh, let me get into graphic design. So I was dabbling in design. Actually, no, sorry. I need to rewind this slightly. A friend comes over. So Sims, gaming, bank that thought. Wanting to get into interior design architect.
Yes.
One package. Friend comes over. What are we doing? We're playing a LAN. We're playing Counter-Strike. We connect your
Okay.
PCs together
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
before the internet was like this big thing, and now we're playing next to each other
online.
online, but like
Multiplayer,
you landing local
Yeah.
area network. This guy starts up his PC.
So do you
and-
know that's what Mark Cuban invented?
Really?
His first, but he was the one who invented like the LAN cable. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I'm pretty sure because I watched it.
Well,
like, two nights
we'll
ago.
just say it's Mark.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen if it was right.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you,
Approved
Mark.
by all gamers. So anyway,
Yeah.
now comes over, LAN, connect. We're about to play Counter-Strike. Starts up his PC, and I don't know if you remember Windows PCs when they started. There was like a loading screen that came up.
Yeah.
His loading screen was his name in like this cool metallic design. So I was like, bro, that's so sick. Where did you get that? He's like, no, I made it. I'm like, you made it.
Fuck off.
Like, come on, bro. He's like, no, I made it. I'm like, oh yeah, where'd you make it? I'm like, where'd you make
You
it?
were one of those
I'm
guys,
like,
bro.
come,
You were like,
come,
come
bro.
show me now.
State your claim,
Okay.
cuz. So anyway, he's like, no, I did it on this thing called Photoshop. So I was like, oh, lekker. Do you have Photoshop? Like, can I have it? He's like, oh, gave me a cracked version of Photoshop, as you do.
Of course.
So put it on, bro, probably for the first like 2 to 3 months, every day calling this guy. Before YouTube also popped off, like the few videos of like a 12-year-old Pakistani kid like teaching you how to use like anything in life.
Yes,
I was
yes,
like,
yes.
okay, cool, lekker. Then learned Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
Then a family friend comes over and goes, oh, I see you do this like design stuff. Can you do me a logo? And I was like, yeah, I can do a logo. Now keep in
Show
mind,
me,
I'm
Kazi.
14, eh? I'm 14 now.
Oh shit. Okay.
So this guy's
still young.
I'm
fresh,
still young, bro.
yeah.
Like grade 8. This guy says to me, "Oh, can you make me a logo?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll
See what I can do.
charge you 100 rand, bro." He's like, "Great." Gives me 100 rand notes. I'm like, "Yo." Now 14-year-old
Back, yeah.
2008, 100 rand in my hand. I'm like,
Living.
I've made it.
You've got a month's worth of tuck shop money.
Bro,
in your hand,
I have
bro.
made it. Next person comes. Oh, I'm trying to build my business. I need a flyer. Can you do me a flyer? I'm like, 200 rand. Then 300, 400. Then eventually, because I was in school, then a lot of guys were like, oh, can you design the plays flyer? And U-Party. Remember U-Party?
Oh, wow.
U-Party are coming to the school. You're going to
bro.
design the flyer. So I'm like, sick. So I designed that flyer.
Yes.
And then
You guys used to have, was Lockenville around at that
yes.
point? Was it? That
Then
was when
at
they
this
first came
stage,
up.
I'm not going to mention any names. I'll mention some names.
No, we can bleep it out. Fuck it. I want to know.
But so Craig Green, who
Okay.
owned U-Party,
Yes.
he saw my stuff and he was like, can you do more U-Party stuff? I was like, sick. Then I started doing all the U-Party stuff. Not redid their logo, but polished the logo.
Yes.
Started doing, then all of a sudden, Vin Grooven, Aiden K, all these people. Now these are like mates of mine. And it's
Yes.
like, oh, sick. Okay. Then that blew up. But all because now go back to this package. Started with The Sims. One is becoming an interior designer. Gaming.
So, yeah.
Sims gaming. Friend came over, played LAN, got into Photoshop. Gaming. It started with gaming, and then that rolled out into all of this. Then
Crazy how little, it's a domino effect.
it's 100%. Then this person wanted a logo. This person wanted a flyer. This person wanted a CD cover.
Yeah.
But then this DJ wanted a photo shoot so he can put himself on the CD cover. Oh, then this, and then
And this is also at a time when marketing isn't as big as what it is now. Bro. So you caught it on the come up.
And
bro.
then all of a sudden, hey, we've seen your work with a lot of people that we know. Can you come through? We want to do some work with you. I was like, yeah, normal client, like a same procedure. Let's just go. Now, keep in mind, I'm 17. Left traditional high school because I got expelled. At 16, started
Wait.
Whoa, let me finish
Wait.
So 16, left high school, got expelled. Did homeschooling halfway through matric, dropped out of matric. Why? Because I was making so much money.
You didn't need to
I didn't
finish
have time
matric.
for die hond het op die sit gehad. Bro, I didn't have time for this. And like, oh, if Betsy has 7 apples and Johnny got kicked in the nuts, how many apples does he have?
Dude,
It's like,
and that's
okay.
such a good way to look at it. And you know what, dude, a lot of people, so just on that point, a lot of parents and shit will listen to their child say, I don't want it. Let your child fuck off and do it, bro. I've got a mate that left high school at 15, bro.
You
and he's
should.
super, like,
He's successful.
successful, but because he was dedicated to his craft.
Now that I think
Not
that's
someone
the
who
hinge.
just wants to leave because
Stay at home and play
don't feel-
Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that.
No, for
so
sure.
yeah, there is like a middle ground
Yeah.
there.
Okay, now why'd you get expelled? Quick story. Let me know.
So funny enough, because I just didn't fit in.
So how'd you get expelled?
So long story short, the high school that I was at was a new high school. I was the second oldest grade.
Yes.
So there was grade 8s, and then when those grade 8s went to grade 9, I started. There was no
Grade 10.
10,
nothing.
11, like there was none of
Yes.
that. So I was always the second grade. So because it was a new school, I think much like anything in life that's new, there's teething process. Teething processes, if you want to call it.
Yes.
And this, I'm going to call him a dictator for now. Emphasis on the first part. But so he was like so staunch into his sports, bro. Now I love sports. I love playing football, cricket, all of that. I'm like, oh, knock yourself
Yeah.
out. Like I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But it's just not my thing. And
Yes.
I'm not going to do something I don't enjoy.
Exactly.
So I loved and it sounds funny, but I loved art.
Yeah,
and I
dude,
loved
the creative
I love the
side,
creative
bro.
stuff.
Yeah.
And this guy just wasn't having it. I was very good at athletics. And I hated it, but I was very good at it. So literally we were trying out for, I think, provincials. And there was like, I think 5 people that were like racing together to qualify. And only the first 2 would make it.
Yes.
So now it's a 100-meter sprint. And this was like, I think, what's the phrase? Broke the camel's back kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this is this part.
Yeah.
We're running this 100-meter sprint. So there was so much baggage before that. But we're running this 100-meter sprint.
This was
And as I'm coming first, everyone else is behind me.
You stopped.
And literally just before the finish line, I just stopped. And everyone else has passed me. And this, now keep in mind, this guy who's the head honcho,
freaked out.
who's involved in everything,
Yeah.
bro, I think I probably saw a vein pop on his forehead. Like, I can't confirm that, obviously not.
No, for sure. You
but
saw
like,
the steam coming out.
I saw the horns growing immediately, bro. This guy lost it, bro.
Yeah.
Long story short, that following week, myself and my dad, we get called into a meeting with this guy. And he literally says word for word, fit in or get out.
Fit in or fuck off.
Not in that words,
But
like
FIFO.
he's literally like, you fit in or you get out. And my dad looked at him, and he looked at me, and he looked at him, and he looked at me, and he went, "Do you want to go for McDonald's?"
Yeah.
And we were like,
lovely.
cheers. And we got up and we left.
Yeah.
Then I think that week we found a homeschool that everything was online. At that stage, it was now becoming big online.
Yes.
You submit your assignments, you get a disk, you put in your computer, your whole year curriculum's there. Work slow, work fast, doesn't matter, just get your work done.
Get it done, yeah.
Which was lacquer. But then at that time, I started going to Vega. And at the time, the dean of Vega, which I think is still the dean now, he was like, listen, you need a matric to come here. You don't have one, but we're going to make an exception for you. So I was like, sick.
Thanks.
There for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Lecturer often gets up, leaves the lecture room. Canton, please take over quickly. Now, 17-year-old sitting in a freaking lecture room, showing people how to understand Illustrator and Photoshop and InDesign. And this is your composition. This is how you do design and layouts. And then eventually I get called in. Listen, you're wasting your money here. Like, go
do something.
Go freelance.
Yeah.
And they said a lot of people at the time, when they study Vega, you either become a pretty well-known and successful designer, or because you don't have the design skills, you become an art director and you can
Yes.
show people how to do things. I was part of the rare bunch where I was both.
Okay,
I was
so
able
you can
to
do
say,
both
hey,
sides, yeah.
I've got the skill to do the work, but I've got the direction on how it should all be packaged and put together.
Yes.
Then they were like,
So
cool.
you can see the cogs and you can paint the picture, bro.
100%. So then that became a very successful freelance business, living with my parents, not a single expense to my name. I felt like a king,
You
bro.
were just banking.
My
it, bro.
car was paid off. Everything was
Oh,
Gucci. Now,
Lovely.
fast forward a bit. Now,
Yes.
design, photography, everything. I get a call. Hey, now this is what I was mentioning earlier. Hey,
Yeah,
Canton, can you come through? We got some work for you. I'm like, normal client, same procedure. Like, I get on with life. Get to the company, get to the address. I'm like, pretty big. Like, it's cool. It was in town. I was like, a little bit dodgy. Like, am I gonna get stabbed here? Yeah, can I park my car here? Anyway, open the door. First thing I see, I'm like, nah, hang on a minute. Am I in the right place? This says Soul Candy Records. I'm like, okay. Walk in.
Shit.
No, meets, and you know, I hope you're watching this, but Nick Berger greets me.
Okay. Yeah.
So Nick's like, I'm the one who called you. So I was
Yes.
like, wow, okay. Who are you? Hello. So he's like, no, gave me the whole spiel. And yeah, first thing I did was work with Catherine Grenfell and Poppy for their album Music in Me. Then it was Deeper Sounds Of with Kevin Grenfell, Clive Bean, and someone I'm forgetting. But now all these people, like I was starting to network with and in Soul Candy. Then I worked with guys like Euphonic and Fresh. And at the time, now, okay, hold on. Now I've got to rewind a little bit. Now I'm just freelancing for them.
Yes.
They see the need of what they have, but the skill set that I can bring. So they go,
Yes.
you want to come work with us? So now you've got the likes of Alan Nickel, who's Kid Funk. You've got 80, who is there as well.
Yes.
You've got Carl Word. I'm name dropping heavier.
Yeah.
Love you all. But like now, it's like I'm working at Soul Candy. I'm
You're part of the team,
I'm pretty
right?
much part of the team, but I am the design team. Like no one else did this.
Yeah.
So
you
from,
one man.
so from design to photo to video, I pretty much took care of Soul Candy stuff. Obviously, there were great people before me, and they
for sure.
absolutely
Yeah.
killed it. John Sarter, love you.
But it's now your job, bro.
But now it's my job. And
Yes.
now I'm like 18, 19 years old. I'm like sure. Now kind of explode that even more. Now, obviously left Soul Candy, but then the people that left Soul Candy went to Universal.
Yes.
Now I'm doing stuff with Universal. Now it's like, sure, now I'm doing the like, it's Soul Candy as well. Still did stuff with Mikasa. At the time, I did Ricky Rick's first album.
Oh,
so if
shit,
you have Ricky Rick's album and you
yeah.
page to what we call the label copy, then there you'll see design and art direction, Canton Park. And I was like, yeah, like those were
Yes.
moments for me, like with Fresh.
It's a
and
pride moment, bro.
like
Yeah.
Mikasa coming to my parents' place. Now it's Mikasa,
What?
bro. You got Jay, you got Duda, you got Mo.
Yeah.
And they coming to my parents' place, which mind you is a complex with like the most intense palisade fencing with like the sparks. Like, are we rocking up to like a prison? Like what's
am I
happening?
doing? Yeah.
Bro, and like we're doing this photo shoot. It's tight.
Yeah.
I got my staffies running around. Lacquer. My mom walks out. Anybody wants an apple tart? Bro, it's just like it's humble beginnings.
It is 100%.
But like I look at those moments, and I'm like, man, that was so sick. So that, in a nutshell, is the beginning of how this all started.
Yes.
Then left, worked at a church for 7 years.
Dude, you said this earlier and just...
Does it? It's not gelling, hey?
Bro, it just... You went
Who
to...
works at a church with 2 full tattoo sleeves?
Yeah, and you left school, homie.
Bro,
you were the devil's child.
I'm practically a babushka doll. Like, as you deal with
Open
me,
it,
there's
it's
more.
just-
There's just more, bro. But yeah, so then, anyway, so school, dropped out, Vega, design,
Soul
freelance,
Candy.
Soul Candy, Universal, freelance for a little bit, worked at a church for 7 years.
Doing what?
Funny enough, also very creative, like doing all the
Yeah.
design, photo, video, all of that. Headed up a team of 24 photographers eventually. So very hands-on, got a lot of
Yeah.
opportunity to be on platform, to preach, to share some offerings, like lacquer stuff.
Yeah.
My opinions on church has changed drastically. Still love Jesus, still follow Jesus. That's never going to
just
change.
not the
Still
same.
love the local church.
Yeah.
I just find we've got a very commercial and commotional local church where it's like there's so much drama. There's a lot of
Politics.
things. There's so much
Oh,
politics.
no,
It's
no,
like, okay,
no.
let's just, what does scripture say? Stick to that.
Yeah,
Thank you. But anyway,
exactly.
besides that, so then was part of church for a while. Then left, started a creative agency. Did that for 2.5 years. It was also very great. Just a lot of
Yes.
things, wasn't really gelling for me, which is fine. Doesn't
Yeah,
work
yeah,
for
yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Left, and now I'm part of a entertainment and events agency, and we do some sick stuff for people.
Yes.
However, now gaming might be something you want to touch on. How did
Dude,
I get into the whole gaming thing?
Yeah.
So
Before we start on the gaming, I
Yeah.
have some stats here about gaming. I did
Okay.
some research before I came.
so
here.
you're that nerd.
So I wanted to know, because I heard a wild stat the other day that actually blew my fucking mind.
That
bro.
gamers have the best sex.
I put it top 3.
Top 3.
No, so the one that I heard and actually got me
Uh-huh.
interested in the gaming industry is that the gaming industry is worth more than the music and the movie industry combined in America.
That is correct. Yeah. Obviously,
That
I can't
is-
prove that, but
that is
I know that's
fucking wild. How do you even fathom that? It's worth, in 2023, it was worth $106 billion, the gaming industry, just in America. Then I've got some others. There are more than 3 billion gamers worldwide. So just over 40% of the world population
Are gamers.
are gamers.
Yeah.
79% of gamers in America are adults.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. That's great.
The gaming industry has tripled in the last 10 years. We can also give that to COVID,
COVID was a weird
Yes.
one. Yeah.
3 in 5 gamers are male,
Sure.
which is actually a pretty impressive statistic for females.
Yeah.
That means 40% of gamers compared to back in the girls didn't game, bro.
Bro,
It
and
wasn't
there's a lot
thing.
of girl gamers now.
There's
eh?
a
Which is
lot, bro.
epic,
It
actually.
is
It's
crazy
amazing.
to see,
Yeah.
bro. There are more than 100 million Xbox Live users. 100 million. There are 50 million PS Plus users.
Sure.
So, I'm a PlayStation guy. I'm not a fan of fucking Xbox. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Xbox only because the remote's weird. Because I grew up on PlayStation.
Got you.
I like
I think that's the key.
It is the
It's
key,
how
yeah.
you grew up. You either grew up PlayStation or Xbox or
And you never changed afterwards.
on a farm. Like that's also cool.
Or on a farm. Wii Sports is the best-selling game of all time. Wii Sports is the best-selling game of all time.
Wow. I think also because that was probably maybe not the first, I might be open to correction, but the first physical.
It was.
Let me play
It
tennis,
was such
golf.
a thing, bro. Think about it. There was over 100
I remember
million
playing
sold.
Wii.
Yeah.
That was actually a vibe. A proper vibe.
Do you remember tennis?
Yeah, and you had to and you went in it, eh?
Yes, this is when you.
Have you seen
you
people
think
where
you
they hold the
fucking-
controller,
and then they throw it,
but
and
they
then-
didn't have the thing, and it's like, oh, I just broke my TV now.
Fuck. Okay. Anyway, those are my stats. Now tell me,
So gaming. So
bro.
this is
because you work with PlayStation.
So there's a lot of stuff that's all over the place, yeah.
Okay.
And I think if anyone's watching and listening to this, they're like, okay, where,
Give us a diagram.
like, how do we
Yeah.
sync and put this all together?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, in a very simple nutshell, started with gaming, got into design. Design became a job.
Yes.
Was forever a gamer because I grew up a gamer.
Yes.
So gaming was always in my life.
Yes.
Design, photography, job, gaming, hobby. I find it, if I can almost call it my rest and recreation.
Escape kind of.
My escape
Yeah.
kind of thing. Not so much to escape,
From life, but
but it's kind of like,
that's your hobby.
This
bro.
is
It's your
this is my rhythm of rest. Let's call it that way.
Okay.
So
That's a nice
most people
rhythm of rest.
most people
That's a nice. I'm gonna use that one.
please, bro,
Damn.
tweet it. Let's get matching
Damn, Mine's
tattoos.
weed and wine, bro.
I mean, equally important, but not weed for me, just the wine. But anyway, so now gaming started, design, cool, everything, lacquer,
Yes,
got a
yes,
job, worked at a church, left, was still designing everything, but like
Yeah.
in the middle of me, after now leaving at the church, still a gamer, hardcore gamer, play every day. I've got the gear. Every time there's the PlayStation 5 released the all black DualSense. Hello. Like I needed that controller. So I was like, sick, got it.
Yeah.
Got that controller. And I thought, oh, you know what? just want to make a cool video. So like I put the controller on the table and I had my lights because I've got all the gear. Like this is what I do. It's my job.
PSA people, if you have not seen Canton's Instagram, this man has the cleanest Instagram in South Africa.
Thank you.
Straight facts, the best Instagram page in South Africa.
I truly
bro.
appreciate that.
Really, if you look at that shit, I'd look at it and I'm just like. And PSA, if you watch any of our reels or our podcasts, in the beginning it says, "Welcome to the Modern Man Podcast." This motherfucker made it for us. Yeah.
Apparently I made it. No, I'm joking. I didn't. But so yeah, well, thank you for that, bro. I really do
I appreciate it, bro. It's fucking cool.
Thank you, man. So now I've got this controller. I've got all the gear. I'm like, I want to make something sick. So I put the controller, I put the lights. Cool. 14, 15 seconds, bro. Put it on Instagram. Kudu see it. Now keep in mind I bought the controller from Kudu. Now my brain always goes to marketing and branding. So Kudu's branding is like a light blue teal. So I take my lights and I make the lights a light blue teal. And then at the end I say, shop Kudu. The creative director of Kudu sees this and goes, is this what you do? So I'm like, oh yeah, just like
it is now.
This is me. So they go, oh, okay, cool. And then that was that. I think probably like a year later, same creative director reaches out to me and goes, hey, we've got a campaign coming up for our birthday. We've got this Nakon PlayStation collaboration bag. Do you want to make content? So I was like, do I get to keep the bag? So they're like, yeah, it's your bag. Just promote our birthday. So I'm like, great, do that. They love it. They're like, wow. Then someone else in Kudu and in the whole Gamefinity sphere, because Gamefinity and Kudu are kind of like brother, sister kind of thing. They go, hey, have you ever like reviewed a game? I'm like, oh no, like I've always wanted to. Like I see these like, IGN and, Games Radar, they do all this gaming reviews, review content. And I'm like, okay, sick. Like I could try. So I'm like, oh, sick. Well, here's a Saints Row code. The game only comes out in like 3 days time. Play it and then just make some content and talk about what you thought about the game. I was like, sick. Okay, like that's it.
Yeah,
like,
is it a catch to it? Or
bro, like I've got this game. I've never had a game code before. I put this code on the PlayStation Store. So it's
like it's a new thing.
Redeem Saints Row. I'm like, whoa, this is sick. So anyway, I play it, make a video. They loved it. They're like,
I'm famous now.
hey, here's this one's funny. Then they're like, here's I think that was called Skate Session Sim. So it was like a skateboard simulator.
Okay.
And then here's Farming Simulator. I'm like, so I play those games and I make content.
Farming Simulator must have been cool as fuck,
bro. It's actually It's a very underrated game.
I can just imagine.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
It reminds me of like
it's not a
like,
kid's game.
No, it's something
you need a
reminds me
brain
of
for
like
this.
Zoo Tycoon back in the day, bro,
Kind of.
where you actually had to think about shit.
Yeah, but this is
Like a different level.
bro, like you have staff to pay. You got to
That's pretty cool,
you gotta cultivate. You need to sow. You need to water. Then you need to do this. Then you need to harvest. Then you need to. Bro,
It shows you how that shit can like introduce you to real world
business. If
bro.
you play Farming Simulator with the mindset of I need to learn business,
yeah.
I promise you'll learn.
Yeah.
100%. But anyway, so yeah, then game review after this game review, then this other distributor reached out to me. Then I reached out to another distributor. Now I'm doing stuff with distributors like in Dubai. I've got guys like Rode that reached out to me and go, hey, you talk a lot about games. Do you want to take this mic, talk about your game, but punt Rode? And then like, oh, hey, do you want to take this mic and talk about the mic and how the mic can best serve people? Then Rode released the Streamer X, which is specifically designed for gamers. Literally, as of yesterday, worked with a company where they have supplements specifically designed for gamers. Increase your cognitive performance, manage your mood levels, stabilize your stress, increase your focus. And it's a supplement. And they're like, yeah, sick. Here's a supplement.
I'm gonna get that for business, bro.
Bro.
Like genuinely, that sounds perfect.
Bro,
And
funny enough, I use it for gaming, but I use it a lot for work.
yeah,
Bro,
because it keeps you young.
when I told you I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning,
you're smacking that.
that's it, bro. And it helped me so much. But anyway, besides the point. So now that from design and photography as a job,
Yes.
from now having the opportunity to do gaming content creation, using the tools of my job, the
Yes.
tools of my trade. Now all of a sudden I've got my job, which I like to call my bread and butter.
Incoming message. The Modern Man Podcast.